cuffs are off, man. Get right, too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna...
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network Sunday morning show with me, Classic Mike. Glad to see everybody. Sorry I missed you guys on Friday. I'm doing slightly better, healing up. Just hopefully everything works out. So today we will go over our week one start-sit questions throughout the show, as well as going over active and inactive players prior to kickoff at around 11:30. Then I'll give you some of my my DF value picks, for those interested in DFS. And then, so just make sure you guys keep your questions coming, and I'll get to them throughout the show. Just a quick rundown of everything going on for those who don't already know. And since we're back and, it's week one, just letting you guys know our current schedule. We have Frank and Ant. They're going to be back on Monday, so tomorrow, with overreaction and waiver wire targets. Frank and Ant will be back on Wednesday after that, doing roster management, buy, sell, trades, show, things like that. Friday night, we'll be back as our start sit live question and answer show, and then back again with me Sunday mornings. So make sure you guys check out our schedule. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the show as well. Also need to promote and make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. As always, they are one of the best with a variety in-season contests, from weekly drafts to game day pick'em contests and so on. Make sure you guys are using the promo code GETRIGHT when you do. They will match up to $100. You have to put in at least $10, but you'll get double your money once you get in. So make sure you guys check them out. They're also doing pick'em special in addition to any site-wide pick'em specials they may be running. So sign up now. Use the promo code Get Right when you do. I know I have a few pick'ems in there for today. Make sure you guys also play responsibly. Very cool. So we got Perry W in the house. What is going on? He goes, how you feeling on your squads this week? I feel pretty good. It's week one. Week one is always the toughest week of the season to try to figure out. We don't know how teams are going to react to certain things. We have an idea of how things are going to go just based on the fact that, the off-season pickups and things like that. But we don't know, and we haven't really got to see them collectively do this. For me, the feeling has always been the first 4 weeks have always been like preseason. We're still getting used to it. So look at that. Worm in the house. Week one, Mike. Let's get it. What's going on, Worm? Glad to have you up and on. And if you have any questions, let me know. We got Mega Brick in the house. Full PPR. Sit one. He's got Waddle, Higgins, Dotson, and Godwin. Oof. That's a tough one right there. I'm going to go with Godwin, and it's just a gut reaction. I like every one of those guys. I love Dotson today against Arizona. I think that's going to be a really good game for him to come out and, show what he's got with Sam Howell. Godwin, Baker, we're unsure of how that's all going to work out. But I do like that particular. I like Dotson a lot, so I'm a little higher on him than most. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with Godwin here. Perry going flex 2, Jamal Williams, Mostert, Rashid Weiss, Godwin, or Gabe Davis. So I'm going to take out Godwin and Gabe Davis. It's really between Jamal Williams, Mostert, and White. With this, I might lean Mostert and White, even though I really like Jamal Williams. He's going to be, where is he? Saints are going against Titans. Yeah, I'm going to go Mostert and White. It's going to be Mostert and Salvin Ahmed. So I'll get into all that in a second, but I'm going to go with Mostert and White. Also flex either Akers, Pittman, or Herbert. I'm going to have to go Akers just because Cooper Kupp's not there. They're going to have to lean on the run a little bit. I'm always going to lean more towards the running back over the wide receiver in most cases, just because they're going to touch the ball a ton more. And I don't know how things are going to go with Pittman just yet. So we'll wait and see. Some news and notes from overnight, just so you guys are aware. We have some players that might be active, might not be active. First off, George Kittle was listed as questionable today due to a groin injury. He's expected to play. You can start him up. He should be fine. Romeo Doubs for the Green Bay Packers. He's listed as questionable today with a hamstring injury. He's expected to play, but there was also a report that stated that they're going to most likely have him on a snap count. So they're going to probably pull him back a little bit. That's going to be significant for that team just because Christian Watson is also out for today. So just be aware of that. They do have a really good rookie, Jaden Reed. So he could have a potential increase in play today. I would really recommend looking into him for things to things that happened for that game. So make sure you guys pick up. I would use him in DFS, Jaden Reed. So Worm goes, can you break down how you got Joe to finally make a trade? It's a good question. I don't know how I don't know why he finally did it. So my cousin, little backstory, my Dynasty League, my cousin has been a part of it. We've all, Worms in this as well. We've been doing it for almost 7 years now. And my cousin Joe, who he's discussing, won it the first 2 years, and then kind of fell off the face of the earth with not winning and so on and so forth. And he, in that time frame, has never made a trade. Don't understand it. He never has, never will. And then he finally made a trade recently. So it was Chase Claypool and Tank Bigsby for Taysom Hill, Michael Gallup, and who did I give him? Michael Gallup and Matt Breida and a 3rd round pick. So I don't know. Worm, the only thing I could tell you is I gave him the argument that he has 2 Arizona Cardinals as his tight ends, and one of them is coming off an ACL injury from week 11, and the other is a rookie. Well, softball, 2nd-year player. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's the only move he's really made. He really hasn't dropped or added anybody in the last few years, so it's kind of fun that he actually made his first transaction of his life. So yeah, I mean, he did drop Jamal Agnew, so he did make another drop. But beyond that, yeah, I couldn't even tell you, Worm. No idea. Love the trade. Glad that I was able to finally get him to trade somebody. Next on my news and notes is Jerry Jeudy is listed as questionable today with his hamstring injury. He's not expected to play, so don't expect him to be in. I do expect Marvin Mims to be a part of this offense, and we'll get to see him today, hopefully. Marquise Hollywood Brown, he and Zach Ertz are both listed as questionable, and it looks like Zach Ertz is expected to play. We'll see how much. I don't see him playing a crazy amount coming off the ACL injury that he had in, I think, week 11 or 12. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But he's expected to play based on Adam Scheffler. Or no, that's Ian Rappaport. Sorry. So also Darren Waller, he popped up on the injury report with a hamstring injury. He's expected to play today. I have gotten multiple reports from multiple Giants inside people, they've all said that he is fine. He will play. I've seen video of him on the practice field. He was fine. They only brought up a running back for special teams. He'll be fine. So don't worry about Darren Waller. Start him up. Seahawks first round cornerback Davion Witherspoon. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. He's not expected to play. That's kind of significant since they're going to be playing the Rams. So that might be good for Van Jefferson. Jonathan Taylor, who is now on the PUP list throughout week 4 due to his ankle injury, is going to pass his physical and could pass it as of today. So that means Taylor should be ready to go by week 5 and is eligible to come off the PUP list. So be aware of that. All right. We got Perry. Oh, my sound muted. Sorry if I did. My mic drop. Am I still going? Can you guys hear me okay? Worm, can you hear me? Just making sure. When I have people telling me that my mic went down. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. Perry, he's got Gano, Joseph, and Sly. I'm going to go with my boy, Gano. Let's go with Gano. I like him a lot today. Greg Joseph going against who they're going against? The Bucks. They're in. That might be a decent 145. Sly, I don't know. I'm good with Sly. So, okay, cool. All right. I was going to say, check your stuff, Worm. Everyone else is hearing me loud and clear. So, all right, cool. So I'm going to go with Gano. I just have a good feeling about it. Weather's going to be a smidge questionable, but I think it should be okay. From what I keep seeing by game time, it's going to be only 4-mile-an-hour winds. It should be fine. A little bit of rain in the forecast probably, but I think they're going to be just fine. Then we got Perry going Jags or Falcons D. I think Falcons D is a sleeper this week. Then go with that. Honestly, this week it's so hard to tell which is going to be good or bad this week. I don't hate the pick. I would probably lean the Jags just because rookie quarterback. They're pretty solid as a whole. So for me, I've always liked the Jags. So I'm going to lean the Jags, but I have no problem with you playing the Falcons D either. I think that's a good pick. Some other news and notes. Let me see if I had anybody else. Adam Thielen is expected to play with his ankle injury. He should be good to go. Jeff Okudah. So based on the Falcons D, Jeff Okudah is going to be out for this opener. So just be aware of that as well. So that could be good for Adam Thielen and Terrace Marshall. We know that DJ Chark is listed as out, so he will be out for today. Some other guys that are going to be out as of today that we were aware of. We have Christian Watson, who I mentioned before, John Menchie. He's going to be out as well. Marlon Humphreys for the no, he moved. I forgot where he is now. But also guys like Cooper Kupp, which we already knew, Jamal Adams from the Seahawks, Tyron Armstead for the Miami Dolphins will be out, and Traquan Smith for the Saints will be out as well. So make sure you guys are aware of that. Okay, that doesn't matter. Just seeing if there's any news coming through yet. Usually I get some news here and there throughout the broadcast, so I'll make sure to fill you guys in as soon as I get it. Will Hayes, what's going on, man? Good morning. Should I start in my flex spot, half PPR, Cortland Sutton or James Cook? I'm going to tell you James Cook. I just really like James Cook a lot in this particular game in general, or I like him as a whole. I really do push the running back more in half PPR. I think he'll be used just enough. I do think that Cortland Sutton is also one of those guys that I think could have a decent day today. but we want to wait and see how that particular offense pans out. But this is a tough one. I think I'm going to lean James Cook. He's going to touch the ball more for sure. Yeah, I'm going to go James Cook. Whew. All right, so we got some, not anything relative to Sunday games, but it looks like Taylor Lewan has announced his retirement from the NFL. So it looks like Taylor Lewan, see you later. Great left tackle, probably one of the best that I've seen in quite some time. Really enjoyed the way he played. So a little disappointing that he is leaving us. But it is what it is. Some other big news that I think I mentioned in the beginning. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, well, so this is kind of the biggest news. Mark Andrews is not expected to play today against the Houston Texans. So this is, making people a little uneasy. So be sure if you have Andrews, you should go out and grab Isaiah Likely ASAP. I know the biggest question for a lot of people is, does Isaiah Likely become someone that I put in for anybody else? Honestly, I'm not 100% on it. I do think he does move up a little bit. I do think he becomes, I put him at tight end 15. So for me, if you have some better options, use them. If you've had, if you drafted guys like Juwan Johnson or, who do I have above him? I have Juwan Johnson. I have David Njoku, Dalton Schultz, Pat Freiermuth, even Kyle Pitts, who I'm very low on. So those guys you can be confident in starting. I think Isaiah Likely should do okay. But for now, I would temper expectations just because, I know a lot of people think that this offense is going to be pass heavy, that they're going to do a lot more passing based on the change at offensive coordinator and so on and so forth. I actually think that they're going to still continue to run the ball and do it well. That's how their team is made. Their whole front line is made that way to run block. So for me, I have a strong feeling that they're going to just, stay the way they are. We're actually going to go into DFS value picks a little bit later. And I'll give you guys some guys to really look for in your particular DFS lineups. One guy specifically is J.K. Dobbins. I'm low on J.K. Dobbins as a whole. Never been a fan. But today, against Houston's defense, I would really recommend playing him. He is a huge value. And we'll go over that a little bit. But he is definitely someone I am targeting in DFS this week. All right. So if you guys have any other questions, those who are watching, please throw them in the chat. I'm going to be here till about 12:30. We're going to go over the actives and inactives as soon as they roll in. I'll try to get you them as soon as possible, even if they roll in a little early. Usually I hear about them right as they're coming. So make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat. All righty. So right now, also make sure you guys, now that I have everybody for a few minutes and I got a minute to spare, make sure you guys check out trophysmack.com. Make sure you guys, use our promo code Get Right. They have new rings that you can you can buy, design, make them anything you want, customizable. Their, belt as well. Make sure you guys, check that out as well. So I got official word that Mark Andrews is inactive today. So he is officially inactive as per Adam Scheffler. So make sure you guys take him out of your lineup if he's already in it. So Mark Andrews will be out, inactive. Take him out of your lineup. But yeah, make sure you guys also, there's the report right there. So make sure you guys take Mark Andrews out of your lineup. Also, check out trophysmack.com. So make sure you guys do that. We got Patrick Lario. What's going on, man? Yo. Let's go, Big Blue. Let's fucking go. That's right, Patrick. glad to have you back. Oh my God, it's Sunday morning. Wouldn't be Sunday morning without Patrick. So thank you for joining me today again. Glad to have you back. It's been a long off season. So yes, go Big Blue. We're excited for the Sunday night matchup against the Cowboys. Always enjoy a really, I always like having Giants on Sunday Night Football for week 1. I mean, that's awesome. I love it. I did Monday Night Football with them last year. Got to go to the game. They're trying to do a blue out today, which is kind of cool. They did a whiteout for ours, which I wasn't really thrilled about, but it is what it is. So we got Albert in the house. What's going on, Albert? Glad to see you. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys throw them in the chat. I'll be here till about 12:30. We're going to do some DFS value picks a little bit after 11:30, after I get all the actives and inactives out of the way. They should be rolling through. If you guys are just joining us, Mark Andrews is inactive, so he will not be in today. Patrick goes, I know the Giants aren't a Super Bowl contender. I wouldn't be upset for a shit season only because you see Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State. Imagine we can pull him off and Hyatt on the opposite side. Yeah, that would be a dream, but I don't want my team going, he's going to be drafted like number 2. But I don't want our team going that low. But that would be nice, It's good to dream, Patrick. It's always good to dream. But we'll wait and see. I think this year Giants have a strong case for being anywhere between 9-8, 10-7, like something like that. I do think that they have a good chance to do well this season. So I'm excited for the season to begin. Yeah, he's going top 5 for sure. Oh, God damn you, Taylor Lewan. He's not retiring. He's an idiot. Anyway, Taylor Lewan is not retired. Fuck you, Taylor Lewan. I love when he does some promo for something, says that he's retired. Everybody says he's retired, and then all of a sudden he's like, no, it's not. I'm just... God, I hate when they do that. It makes us look stupid. So Patrick goes, going to be a nasty game tonight. Torrential downpour is good for me. I have Pollard going. Yeah, I heard that there's going to be rain in the forecast. I haven't heard anything crazy. It's just something to monitor at this point. It's 4-mile-an-hour winds, 0.5 inches of rain. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But as of right this moment at this time, I think it should be fine. I haven't seen any updates on the weather, especially for that game. Yeah, everything's fine. I think it's going to be a good game either way. Always a good game against Dallas. Apparently, one of the bigger rain threats is the New England Patriots game and Philly, but they're on turf, so they'll be fine. It's just going to be wet and sloppy. A lot of rain in the, mid-East Coast, Washington, Baltimore. There's some out west in Denver, but, New York, New England, we got a little bit of rain coming up the coast. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. All righty. So we are 6 minutes till we get official actives and inactives. Like I already said, we already got word that Mark Andrews is inactive. So make sure you guys take him out of your lineup. Neanderthal goes, how do you feel about your boy Saquon this year? I'm invested in him in 3 leagues. I feel good about him. Man. I think he'll do well this year. I think it's going to be, he's, for me, he's always had a steady floor or, a high floor, high ceiling. So my wife and her nurses league, I told her to go right for Saquon as the 4th pick overall. Just regular PPR 3 wide receiver. I honestly feel strongly about him. I have him in my Dynasty league. Really like Saquon a lot. So I think he'll be fine. I think that the team invested in O-line. They invested in better weapons to take the pressure off of Daniel Jones a little bit and off of Saquon. So you have to respect Darren Waller and, and company. I do think that Jalen Hyatt and, Isaiah Hodges and, Darius Slayton, I think you have to respect their speed. They're a lot faster than they were last year. There were a ton of reports from camp saying how fast the Giants were on receiver. Paris Campbell in his own right, he's very fast, very quick, very shifty. I like him a lot. I've liked him for the last few years. He just hasn't had the opportunity to develop because of injury. So I do think he is going to do well in this particular offense. They still have Shep, who, he's active for the game from what I hear. Wan'Dale Robinson, he'll be doubtful. So I wasn't expecting him to play, but he's off the pup. So they will kind of ease him back in at one point. But they're going to be quick. They're going to be, I don't see a lot of deep passes, even though Daniel Jones can throw the deep pass. I do think that it's going to be a lot of those underneath slant routes that are going to, really help them. I do think Daniel Jones has a good season this year. Anywhere from, he'll definitely be in that QB 10 area or higher. He was QB 9 last year, so I do think that he has an opportunity to do well. I hope they get him over the 4,000 yard mark. I do hope they get him over 20 touchdowns. So if they can get him over that, we'll be good. Look at that, Dr. Clutch back. Yo, let's go. NFL is back. That is right, my friend. It is week 1. Excited to get this thing going. Welcome back, Dr. Clutch. If you didn't hear already, Mark Andrews is inactive today. So if he's in your lineup, get him out of your lineup. So like I said, we've had only that one come through. We have others coming through shortly. Should be coming in the next 3 minutes. And as soon as we get those, I will let you know. And you guys will have up to the minute actives and inactives. So you guys can go grab somebody else if you have somebody that unexpectedly is inactive. I've also gotten word from before about Ramondre Stevenson. He had a stomach bug that popped him on the injury report as of Friday. He should be good to go. Even Stefania Bell said that he should be good. I'm not worried about him. So make sure you guys, be confident. So he goes, has anyone been in this chat trying to sell dogs? If so, block them. They are scammers. Dogs are stolen. Okay. I didn't know that. He's called Clint Massey. Okay. Cool. We have not. So thank you, DJ Smokey. I appreciate it. He has not been in this chat trying to scam dogs or anything like that. So appreciate it. Dr. Clutch goes DeAndre Hopkins, Jawan Dotson, Jordan Addison, or Pickens this week for my wide receiver 2. 10-man PPR, full PPR, was debating Dotson versus Arizona. I really do like Dotson versus Arizona a lot. I do think he'll do well. We had the question before in the chat about Dotson. Perry was asking about, it was Mega Brick. He was asking about Waddle, Higgins, Dotson, and Godwin. Honestly, in this grouping of guys, I like Dotson and Addison. We'll have to wait and see how Pickens goes because they're going against San Francisco. I think that's going to be a rough game. But I really do like Dotson. But, Hopkins is Hopkins, man. He's going against Marshawn Lattimore. He hasn't faced him since, I think, 2019, if my memory serves me correctly. So we'll have to see how that goes. But Hobson's the better talent. But I think that they're going to have to, run the ball a little bit, which they always do. So I'm going to lean Dotson here. So Patrick goes, how about this Kirk or Michael Thomas? Pissed had Montgomery on bench. Also, I heard someone say Najee Harris because playing Niners D, but ain't doing that. I would be playing Najee. I mean, I mean, Niners D is tough, but I'd still play him. All right. So Brown safety, Juan Thorhill is not going to be active today. He went through morning workouts, so Brown safety will be out. Okay, we're getting the actives and inactives. We got Kendrick Miller will be out for the Saints. That's big for Jamal Williams. So Jamal Williams will be the starter today for the Saints. A.T. Perry is going to be out as well. He's a wide receiver for the Saints. So they're going to be only 3 wide receivers. Michael Thomas might be an option. Saints going against, who are they going against again? Going against the Titans. It's not a bad situation there. Kirk going against Indy. I like both, but I'm going to lean Kirk just because we know what the production's going to be. We know that he'll get targets in this game. Michael Thomas, I just don't trust. I haven't trusted him all year. But yeah. Dr. Clutch goes, got Bijan and Pollard with my first 2 picks this year. Excited to see them play today. Hey man, that's some potent running backs you got. Hopefully they turn out the way that you want. I mean, Rams going today against the Panthers. That should be interesting. We'll see. Marcus Davenport. Just saw something on the thing. Marcus Davenport is going to be inactive today for the Vikings. He was just acquired a few days ago. David Quisenberry, their center, is going to be out today. That's kind of significant for the Vikings, so be aware of that. Never want your leading center to be out. Washington's inactives, nobody that we care about other than Chase Young. He will be inactive today, so be aware for those who are playing the Commanders defense. He will be out. Hollywood Brown and Zach Ertz, they will be active today. So Hollywood Brown, Zach Ertz are both active today as per Mike Garafolo. Cordero Patterson is inactive, so load up Bijan and enjoy the day. Tyler Algier, you can play him in some big, deeper leagues. Zach Moss is inactive for the Colts, so it looks like Deion Jackson will be leading the committee of him and Evan Hall. So be aware of that. Let's see who else is going to be. Should get a few coming through shortly. All right. So Dr. Clutch goes Jamal Adams or Damian Pierce. This is another league, still 10-man PPR. I have Kupp, Kelsey, and Christian Watson in this one. Ooh, tough. I feel stronger. I feel a little. I'm high on Damian Pierce. So for me, the answer is going to be Damian Pierce. Jamal Williams, I do like a lot today. I mean, he is facing the Titans, who are strangely good against the run just because of Jeffrey Simmons, who tends to clog up the middle of the field. So I would just be aware of that. Damian Pierce going against the Ravens. I mean, that they're essentially 2 really good run defenses. I think you can't go wrong with either. I'm just trying to see where I have. Let me base it on my rankings then. I have Pierce at 22. I have Jamal at 29. So I have Pierce just ranked higher. But that's, like I said, I just feel a little better about that offense. Saints, I'm not 100% sold on. The over-under is 41 comparatively to the Texans game, Texans and Ravens game, which is 43.5. Texans are on the road as well. It's tough, man. That's a tough question. I like Damian Pierce, though. That's just my question. No, Patrick, I didn't. I just kind of. Oh, you missed it. Okay, so I'm gonna lean Kirk for your Thomas or Kirk pick. I like Kirk more just because I know what he is. I don't know what Thomas is going to be because we don't know how Thomas is going to be in this offense. His first 2 weeks last year were crazy, and then he got hurt and then fell off the face of the earth. So, Michael Thomas isn't a horrible option. I just think that it's one of those things where I feel a little bit stronger about someone that I know the offense. I know how they are going to produce. They're going to probably get Calvin Ridley involved, but he's number 2 in target. Like that's the number 2 target for that team. Michael Thomas is probably the number 2 as well. So I'm going to lean more Kirk in this case. So just to give you a quick breakdown of actives and inactives, like I said, Marcus Davenport, he will be out. Kendrick Miller will be out, like I told you before. Cordero Patterson is out. Hollywood Brown and Zach Ertz are going to be playing today. Mark Andrews is out, and George Kittle is good to go. So those are the main actives and inactives. So make sure you guys are taking those guys. Looks like Will Levis is inactive, which means Malik Willis will be behind Ryan Tannehill. So don't worry, Dr. Clutch. I see yours. I'm going to get to yours in a sec. So you think, should I sit Harris because of the Niners defense? I can put James Conner in that spot and move Thomas up to flex. I think you should start Harris regardless. I don't think you should sit him because of the particular matchup. He's not that guy. He's more of a workhorse guy that will get the ball and touch it more. James Conner, I'm a little bit. We need to see how this offense is going to run with Josh Dobbins. I think that it would be silly to use James Conner because they might go down and then, he'll be irrelevant. Michael Thomas, I'm just, like I said, I'm not sold on. We'll have to wait and see. Dr. Clutch goes start 2. Chris Godwin, Drake London, or Brandon Ayuk. Start 2. I think I'm going to lean Godwin and I want to lean Ayuk. I just really like Ayuk a lot comparatively. And I know London's good, but they just want to run. And London's their main pass catcher. Godwin will have to see they're going against the Vikings. They don't have anybody that scares me. The over-under for the Niners game is 41.5. I'm gonna stick with Godwin and Ayuk. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with Godwin and Ayuk. Alex, what's going on, Alex? Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy. Hope I give you the right answers here. Marquise Brown or Michael Thomas. Honestly, this is one of the tougher questions for me because I don't like either. But I think in this particular scenario, I would lean Michael Thomas. It's a situation that in this case, one, it's indoors. You don't got to worry about it. Yeah, it's I don't like either. You got Josh Dobbins throwing Marquise Brown the ball. Now, yes, throwing the ball often is probably going to happen for Arizona. Will it happen? And then you also have to think of the quality of the target that is going to Marquise Brown. So that's where my issue is. And I've used that a lot in the past where quality of target means something. And I did that last year with, Kyle Pitts, getting Marcus Mariota comparatively to Matt Ryan. And then we saw the drop. Now he did okay with Mariota, but he didn't do great. He ended the year horribly because of injury. But at the end of the day, in this particular case, would you rather have Derek Carr throwing you the ball or Marquise Brown? That's really, or not. Sorry. Would you rather have Derek Carr throwing the ball or Josh Dobbins? That's my biggest thing. I think that I would probably go with Michael Thomas even though I don't like it, even though he hasn't played football in 2.5 years, like that's kind of what's throwing me with Michael Thomas. I don't think it's the talent. I think he's very talented as a person, but he's coming back from, these injuries that he's had that have kept him out for quite some time. And now he gets I wouldn't say an upgrade, because Drew Brees is, of course, the best he's ever had, but he gets a better quarterback than he did prior to that. I'm going to lean for you. I'm going to lean Michael Thomas here. I'm just going to go Michael Thomas. I don't like it. You also say that I'm also starting Pickens, unless you think that's not a good idea. You were leaning Thomas because of Brown's hamstring. That's another good reason as well. They're both kind of, it is what it is. But honestly, I'm going to lean Michael Thomas. No problem at all. I think that you're going to have to start Pickens. I don't hate the pick. I think that the team is going to try to, take away their best options, but I think the Steelers are, they're going to rush the passer with Nick Bosa. They're going to do the best they can, trying to keep him from throwing the ball, but we've seen Pickens do well. Hey, roll with Pickens. Why not? I like it. We got Dr. Clutch going. Anthony Richardson versus the Jags or Kirk Cousins versus Tampa. Oof. I want to say it's based on the matchup that you have head to head. I would prefer Kirk Cousins just because I am the king of consistency. I like someone that I know that's going to do well, comparatively to someone that I have no idea. We don't know what Anthony Richardson is. We know that he's fast. We know that he can run the ball. We don't know anything about his passing ability other than, he made a couple of passes in the preseason. He didn't do that great in the preseason. He can run, though, so his floor is kind of high. But Kirk Cousins is a little bit more productive and a little bit more accurate and a little bit more just better in a way. I mean, they have Minnesota up 4.5. The spread, they have them at 4.5, favored by 4.5, 45 points. I'm going to lean more towards that. I think that I'm just going to go Kirk Cousins. And I know that seems weird. I do have Cousins probably ranked higher as well. Let me double check my rankings real quick. Yeah, I have Kirk Cousins at 14, Richardson at 18. So I'm going to leave it at that. Steven Joe, what's going on, man? What up? Should I roll with Komet or Likely? Oh, Likely. Just throw Likely in. Komet is a shell of his former self. If you picked up Likely, use him. Yeah, Neanderthal, that was the other point I was trying to make without trying to make it. He's got one of the best receivers in the league. Yeah, go Cousins. You know who he has. You know what they are. I would stick to what you know comparatively to what you don't know. Because Anthony Richardson is somebody that I'm going to have on my bench for a long time, just because his upside is incredible because of his rushing floor. But the problem is that we don't know how he's going to produce yet. So I cannot start him in week 1 and feel comfortable. If you have someone like Kirk Cousins, I feel more confident in doing something like that. So, and Steven, once again, I would roll with Isaiah Likely. I mean, you picked him up, Kirk, Cole Kmet, I just don't trust. I don't trust him one bit in any shape, way, or form. So I would do that. All right. So keep your questions rolling through. I'm going to do some, we're going to do some DFS value picks for you guys. So for those who play DFS, I do use FanDuel. So if you guys are using the platform or looking for players to pick from, I use FanDuel personally. You can definitely look at other places as well. So we'll have to wait, and you guys have the choice to do whatever you want, wherever you want to play it. I just use FanDuel as my particular platform. So Alice goes, what are your thoughts on Mike Williams this year? Do you suspect Herbert to be a beast this year? Yes, I do. I think Kellen Moore will open up that offense a lot more. I think they're going to be pass heavy. Unfortunately for Mike Williams, it's always been the health. We have to wait and see on how. I mean, we all have seen how good he can be. He is a threat anywhere on the field. Him and Keenan Allen are great. Going against the Dolphins today, they have this the points total as 50 and a half. I hope he stays healthy. I liked him. I always have liked him. He's a very interesting and fun player just because of his size. So as long as he can stay healthy, I think he can do real well this season. So play at your own risk, but I do like him at least for this week. This week he should be fine. So hopefully he can stay that way. So like I said, I'm going to be using FanDuel. So here's their site, all that fun stuff. I'm going to give you some quarterback value picks. You see at the top, we got Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields. I'm going to go a little bit lower and go to Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is a steal at $8,000 in this particular formatting. I do think Joe Burrow is in a good place, but unfortunately, Joe has had a really bad history against the Browns. So I'm going to, stick with Trevor Lawrence here. If you guys want to go a little bit lower down the sheet, one guy I like today, Sam Howell. I mean, we were talking about, Dotson before. I think Sam Howell could do very well today against Arizona, who I'm assuming is probably just tanking today. So $7,100, not bad if you want to go light on your QB. Derek Carr, also $7,000 going against Tennessee. I think Tennessee has a better run defense than they do, their pass rush. I do think that Derek Carr can do well in this particular offense. They brought him in for a reason. He's one of the more accurate quarterbacks out there. So for me, I like him a lot. If you really want to go to the bargain bin, Baker Mayfield going against Minnesota. Minnesota has been putrid against the pass in the past. He's $6,300. If you want to take a shot at one of the lower priced guys, I think Baker, you can kind of stack him with either Evans or Godwin, and I think you should do just fine. So those are some of my QB value picks. Let's move on to the running back. So let's go through the running backs. We see Christian McCaffrey at the very top at 9,200. We got Austin Eckler at 9,000. If you guys don't want to do that, that's completely fine. I understand that completely. We've already talked about this guy a little bit today, and that's Jamal Williams. He's going to be touching the ball. He's going to get a ton of volume in this game. So 6,800 going against a tough, like I said, Tennessee defense. That's the only drawback to him, but I do think volume is king. He should do just fine. Another guy is Cam Akers at $6,600. Seattle has been weak against the run. They don't have Jamal Adams. And I do think that in this particular case, they don't have Cooper Kupp as well. If they're going to, they're going to want to keep Stafford upright. They're going to have to run the ball. I do think Cam Akers could have a decent day today. So with him at 6,600, that's a value. This is a guy I think you should be starting everywhere. Is J.K. Dobbins. We talked about it in the beginning of the show. J.K. Dobbins going against Houston, one of the worst run defenses in the last few seasons. They're a bend don't break offense. They're better at pass rush than they are against the run. I think they're basically built that way. I know DeMeco Ryans is a good coach, and I really hope this defense improves. But I really do think that J.K. Dobbins is a steal today at $6,500 or $6,500. Brian Robinson is another guy I like a lot today, $6,400 going against Arizona. I mean, just like I said before, it's tank season. They're going to just try to play to do well. Rachaad White also against Minnesota, $6,400. Minnesota is okay defense, but I do think that he can do well this week. Another guy that I really like a lot, Raheem Mostert. We got news today that Devon Achane, he's going to be out today. So it's going to be Raheem Mostert and Salvin Ahmed. So I do think that Raheem Mostert should do well. $5,900. That's a steal. If you really want to go deep into the bargain bin, we're going to go all the way down here to guys like Jaylen Warren. Reason why I bring him up in general, I know I've said multiple times already today that Najee should be fine, but if they go down, Jalen is their passing back. He's the guy that they like to pass to. I know that FanDuel is only half PPR, but he could still give you a decent, he could be a decent flex play for you if you're looking to go heavy on someone else. Who else do I got? Oh, another guy, Kenneth Gainwell. He's been talked up to be the RB1 for the Eagles so far this year. I do think that he could do well in this system against New England. New England's going to try to shut down everybody else. Kenneth Gainwell is there. He's $4,900. If you want to take a dart throw, he might be the guy to do it with. All right. Let's go to wide receiver. And of course, we got that big guy up here, Justin Jefferson, at 95,000, and then a huge drop to Tyreek Hill. So that's pretty significant. So it's going to be hard to kind of find, a ton of value on this list. I went down to the 6,500 range. We see all the guys above that, but you can definitely take flyers on those guys. But I figured, why not take a look a little bit down the list? And who do I see? Mike Evans at $6,500. What? This guy has 1,000 yards every season and does very well. I like him a lot. Mike Evans at $6,500. You also have just above him Amari Cooper, who's at $6,700. I mean, going against Cincinnati, I do think that Cleveland is going to show what, Deshaun Watson is, and they're going to throw the ball, and, the guy to get it is Amari Cooper. Another guy I like a lot is just below him is Deontay Johnson. I mean, I think they're going to pepper him as much as possible, trying to get him the ball, just because why not? I mean, they should be. DJ Moore is a steal going against Green Bay, $6,300. I think that's a good price for him. Drake London as well at $6,200. Can't go wrong there. Rashad Bateman at $6,100 without Mark Andrews. I think he could be someone that you could focus on in this particular spot as well. Another guy that I like a lot at $5,900 is Courtland Sutton. If you look at, you can even take Michael Thomas right there at the top of him. These two guys I don't have any problem with. If you listen to the Fantasy Alarm Show on Sirius XM with Howard Bender has broken down Joe Lombardi's offense a ton, and the one thing he mentions a lot is the X receiver for the Broncos in this particular case is Courtland Sutton. So I see Sutton having a really good game against the Raiders. So in this case, $5,900, not a bad price for him. Another guy that could be on this list is Juju Smith-Schuster, $5,800. He's the only receiver there right now. Devontae Parker will be out today, so that's not a bad price for him as well. Some other bargain bin guys that you might want to focus in on is guys like Terrace Marshall, who will be going against Atlanta today. I do like Thielen above him, but I do like Terrace Marshall. He's the only healthy wide receiver that they have at this moment. $5,500, not a horrible choice if you want to go heavy somewhere else. One of the guys in the bargain bin that I talked about in the beginning of the show is, he's all the way down here. Where is he? He's at 5. Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed will be a steal today. He is somebody that he's the only healthy receiver. We have Romeo Doubs, who's hurt. Luke Musgrave is another guy that we'll talk about in a minute. But right here, I mean, Jaden Reed should do well today. Neanderthal, I'm curious to see how Deshaun and Cooper gel. Yeah, me too, man. I really do like – I've been high on Amari Cooper all season or all off season. He's very underrated, and a lot of people do not understand how good he truly is. He is one of the best receivers in the league, and he's just so disrespected. I think that Watson can just make him so much better, because I think Watson's better than Dak. So I can only see, well, yeah, and he's definitely better than Carr. So we can only see good things coming. I know that they're going to focus on the run, but I do think that they're going to try to unleash Cooper. All right. Some tight end value picks. So let's go to tight end. We already know that Mark Andrews is out, so that leaves TJ Hawkinson at the top of the list. He's healthy and ready to go. Dallas Goedert just right below him. But if you want to go a little bit lower, I like Evan Ingram. I think Evan Ingram should be good today, without a doubt. I do like him a lot. David Njoku, another guy I like a ton with Watson. We've seen it in the preseason, and we saw it last year. David Njoku is a sneaky tight end option to be one of the top 5 this year. I do like David Njoku a lot. I'm a little disappointed I didn't get him in a lot of the leagues that I'm in, but I like him a lot today. Tyler Higbee at $5,300. You should have him in every lineup that you own, because he plays every down and he gets almost every target. So, well, especially when Cooper Kupp's not there. So I like Tyler Higbee a lot. $5,300 is a steal versus Seattle. Juwan Johnson against the Titans. He's at $5,100. Where is he? There he is. He's not a bad choice as well. If you're looking for any type of tight end, he should be good to go. Another guy, Hayden Hurst. I mean, like I told you before, they're short DJ Chark. Adam Thielen's a little banged up. Hayden Hurst could get a ton of look against Atlanta. $5,000 right here. Not a bad choice at all. Another guy on this list, Isaiah Likely, who we just talked about a few minutes ago. He's $4,700. Why not? You know, he's going to be used everywhere. Austin Hooper is another guy I like as well. $4,800. I mean, it's Jimmy G. He likes he likes throwing to the tight end. It's just in his wheelhouse of who he can throw to. Luke Musgrave is another guy I like a lot. $4,500 against Chicago tonight, or today, this afternoon. I do like Luke Musgrave as well. So those are some of my tight end value picks right there. And then last but not least, let's go to the defense, because DFS cares about defenses, which I like. In this case, we have at the very top Baltimore Ravens, Washington Commanders, who I think are going to be used a lot today. But in this particular, or even the Eagles, I think the Eagles are going to be a big one that people use just because they're lower in price. But against New England, I love it. Mac Jones going against them is going to be kind of scary. But one of the teams I like a lot for defense is Jacksonville, going against a rookie quarterback in Anthony Richardson. $4,400, good price for them as well. Seahawks, strangely enough, I think are a good defense. $4,200 going against the Rams. I mean, it's Stafford without Cooper Kupp. His production has not been great without, when Cooper Kupp is not there. And yes, I understand that I told you guys to aim for Higbee, but that's just volume based. You'll see Higbee with probably 8-9 targets. If he catches all of them, I'd be surprised, but got to lean that way. Another team I like as well is the Denver Broncos. $4,000. I mean, that's fantastic. So a lot of good defenses to pick from this week. So yeah, go at your own. So just waiting on questions. So if you guys have any others, please throw them in the chat. I'm going to be here as long as you guys have questions. If you don't, that's fine too. I can wrap this up a little bit earlier than I wanted to, which is completely fine. I know it's week 1. Everyone's getting their stuff together, going to parties, going to, do everything in the world right now. So for me, that is completely fine. I have no problem taking a seat and relaxing for a minute prior to everything. So as long as I don't see anything going on in the chat, let me make sure that we promote our other people as well. Make sure you guys check out our affiliate podcast as well, the Fantasy Frontline. podcast with Tim and AJ. Make sure you guys check them out. The Check Down podcast as well. They will be every Friday at around 8:30 Eastern. So make sure you guys check them out. Cody McGoats, Shirtless Pat, all of them are going to be in that group as well. Also, AJ, or better known as Dem Boys, is going to be out there with the Deadzone Fantasy Show. He will be giving you guys those Deadzone guys, those really low flex plays, or those good flex plays that you might not think about. He's going to be working on that type of stuff. So make sure you guys check them out. Every week we're going to have them. So make sure you guys check them out. Also, make sure you guys check out Trophy Smack, like I said before, custom rings, custom belts, custom trophies, custom chains. I mean, this is, if you're going to get a thing, get it now. And make sure you guys have it ready for the end of the season for your particular league if you haven't already. Great products, great things. Just really love Trophy Smack. So make sure you guys check them out. Hey, speak of the devil. What up, Mike? Good luck here on week 1. Thanks, then, boys. I don't get to face you this week, which is good. I get to face Frank this week in our listener league. So I get to face Frank. And forgot who I'm facing in my other league. Who am I facing in the listener league? Listener league, I got, who is it? Oh, Felix. I got Felix this week. I am the underdog in all these, so it should be fun. Should be fun. I'm excited for this week. I got all my teams set up and ready to go. I got my DFS lineups in there. I got all my bets and everything in for week 1. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week 1 in one way or another. I'm going to wait another maybe 5 minutes. And then if I don't have any other questions or anybody in the chat, I will probably wrap this up. But if there's anybody out there that wants to ask questions, go for it. That's what I'm here for. Make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy as well. Make sure you guys are using the promo code GETRIGHT. They have a lot of pick'em stuff, which is great. They have the weekly stuff as well. You can draft a team. Make sure you guys use the promo code GETRIGHT, and when you do, they will match up to 100% when you make your first deposit of $10 or more, or $10 to $100. They will basically double your money. So make sure you guys check them out. But yeah, so make sure you guys check them out. Also, if you don't already know, here's where these things are available, or for Underdog. They're working on it. So I know it's not in every state, but they will get there soon. Them boys goes, I got both Kelsey and Andrews out in the listener league. Bully tight end is working out awesome for me so far. Yeah, you never know, man. I mean, I know that didn't you grab 3 tight ends in that? I remember you went Kelsey, Andrews, and somebody else. I feel like you had another. Tight end that I'm trying to remember offhand. You definitely have. Yeah, you had Gerald. Okay, so you had Gerald Everett as your backup there. I mean, you can throw Mark Andrews into the IR spot, grab somebody if you want. Likely is probably available unless someone just picked him up, which I wasn't paying attention to the transactions, but you picked up Gerald Everett. Oh, Likely got picked up early this week. Okay, so you can't even grab Likely. So it is what it is, man. It will be fine. You'll be fine. It's only week 1. Get that, work those waivers. You'll be good to go. It looks like, both of them should be back next week or the week after. So shouldn't be that long. All right, boys and girls. If we don't have any other questions, nothing out there. I don't see anybody. I do see a few people watching. I'll give it a few minutes to get people to throw questions in if they have any. But otherwise, I'm going to start wrapping this up real quick if no one else has anything to discuss. So Neanderthal goes, good luck today, Mike. Excited to get to play in a league with you this year. Me too, man. I'm glad to be in that league. I'm excited. I have my lineup set. I don't know who I'm facing. I'm facing Adam Scheffler, whoever that is in that league. So I'm excited for that. But yeah. So thank you all for coming in and joining me today. I hope everyone has a good week 1. Make sure you guys set your lineups. Make sure everybody, use that flex spot. I will give the advice. I like putting guys that are later into that, the later games into the flex spot. So make sure you guys are doing that. Then boys goes, Van Jefferson is a sleeper flex pick this week, expecting a big week from him. I hope so. Well, I unfortunately just had him and dropped him for Deion Jackson. Figured why not? A little bit of a change, but it was a last second tinker. I'll probably regret it. So that means definitely pick up Van Jefferson, knowing how my luck is. But yeah, good luck to everybody on week 1, as long as you're not facing me. I will see you guys next week on Friday. Make sure you check out the show tomorrow with Frank and Ant. They're going to do overreactions to this week. They'll also give you some waiver wire targets as well based on the outcome of all the games and what happened. Then we will be back on top of that on Wednesday with Frank and Ant. They're going to give you the roster construction show, trades, things like that. You can, pick their brain about those things. Then start and sit will be on Friday with me and Ant. And then I'll be back here next Sunday. So make sure you guys check us out then. And yeah, I guess we'll see you soon. Have a wonderful week, week 1, and good luck. Later, everybody.
Wanted to white fantasy is the play. Marking nothing but I